Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All black Hispanics and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
The ISUPK presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.
And all the warriors be like, boom, yasha.
ISUPK under Commanding General Yahana presents the official itinerary for the 57th Annual Lord's Passover. Kickoff. Wednesday, April 1st, the lamb slaughter from 11 a.m. Followed by fun and games, basketball, three-point shootout. Can you hit the target in the archery competition? Then let's gather together ourselves and eat some lamb. Later that night, the dopest podcasts, the Round Table of Truth, Cross the Line Radio, and Let a Hebrew Speak. All going down from 8 p.m. Thursday, April 2nd, the annual Kiddies Party. It's all going down at Sleek City Action Park from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Followed by Scripture Breakdown Class from 7 p.m. with 12 Shield General Mahayim. Friday, April 3rd, from 8 p.m., the all-black party. You know how we get down. It's all going down at the BH Ranch, Houston, Texas. Saturday, from 1 to 4 p.m., we will be hosting a brunch. Then, the moment we've been waiting for all year, from 5 p.m. sharp, April 4th, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. Followed by the Feast of Unleavened Bread, Sunday, April 5th from 7 p.m. The Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread goes hand in hand, so don't miss it. Make your reservations, book your flights and hotels now. An entire week of activities for only $200. Go to isupk.com, pay your Passover fee now. Shalom.
What I say? Okay. What I say? Okay. What I he ready to leave us. He ready to leave us. I put his garment on. Put his garment on. I put his garment. Go ahead. Put his garment. Hey, what you got in that bag? You already know what I got on that bag, man. Say less. Say less. There you go. you good? Hey, yo, the Passover is right around the corner. Hey, don't forget Officer Cabot's sauce. His hot sauce, you could put it on the lamb.
Profit us. This place does not love us, man. And in a hot second, they going to try to exterminate us. They are not, they do not care. Canned goods here. Bring the cases of water. Continue to build these shelves and these reserves, you understand? Because there's going to come a time where we're not going to be able to rely on America. It's going to come a time where them supermarkets is going to be empty. You understand? And because we filled our storehouses, you understand, we're going to eat. Just like when you go all the way back into Egypt, you know, there was a time where Egypt ain't have light. Goshen did. You understand? All the firstborn died. Oh, you understand? But none of the firstborn of the children of Israel died. That America is not going to profit us. This place does not love us, man. And in a hot second, they going to try to exterminate us. They are not. They do not care about us. And once again, this is why bring your canned goods here. Bring the cases of water. Continue to build these shelves and these reserves, you understand? Because there's going to come a time where we're not going to be able to rely on America. It's going to come a time where them supermarkets is going to be empty. You understand? And because we filled our storehouses. All right. Monday night. Live and direct. Clap it up. First. Here in the lovely city of San Antonio. Any questions in the room? Good.
Will there ever be an Issachar general?
Lord willing.
Lord willing.
You know what I mean? Just who gonna rise to the occasion? Who gonna put that work in? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Got another question?
Any other questions?
How long would it take, or what does it take to be a general?
Okay. That's interesting because I was thinking about going in on this today. All right. Here's the first thing that I want y'all to understand, right? You got to absolutely have your entire, you understand, old man killed in order for anybody to want to reach the heights of a general inside here. Because there comes a time, right, where you reach a certain rank and your life is not yours. You understand? And I mean down to the point where, all right, by the time you hit 5,000, you can't have a bad day. You know what I mean? Like, y'all are troopers now. Y'all can have meltdowns. You could have bad days. You can make mistakes. There's a time where you have so many people's lives that's in your hands. Like what you gonna do? Be a captain or a general and think you battling depression? What happens when somebody calls you because they suicidal and you just screening the phone call because you don't feel good today? You understand? Like you got to think about this, right? Think about somebody in the world that gets high. You understand? Somebody who smokes weed, sniffs coke, Fetty, whatever, right? They serve themselves. Who can they serve? who could they help? Who could they actually be there for? You understand? Like what you gotta realize is when we go out to camp, right? There's gonna be certain campsites you go to. You're gonna see brothers and these sisters, you know what I'm saying, high on all different sorts of substances, slumped over inside the streets, right? And when you see them, what you gotta realize is they're better than you. And why am I saying that? Because they not giving up heroin to clean you up. You gave up your vices and your Saturday and your life to go clean them up. Now you got to think about that when you got thousands of people you're responsible for. You understand? Like you gotta look at, give me that scripture where it says bear each other's burdens. I want to say, I think it's in Galatians somewhere over there. Good, yeah, I knew it was Galatians. Galatians 6:2. Grab that for me.
The book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 2. Bear ye one another's burdens.
What does it mean to bear one another's burdens?
Help each other.
How? It's all right. It's all right if you don't know. We'll give it a shot. How?
Praying for them. So
what else?
Teaching them.
Okay.
I was gonna say, taking each other's problems, like putting your problems on one another to help solve each other's problems.
You understand? So that's more so it, right? Here's the first thing. It's not like first of all, don't confuse brotherhood with sisterhood. You understand? And definitely, like, it's funny what you said, only because that's what the church will do. The church will say, "Oh, pray on it, brother." You understand? Instead of helping you. Bearing a burden is you call up the school and you say, "I can't pay my rent." So you know what that means? Do you know what the general says? We can't pay our rent. So now whose responsibility is it? You see what I'm saying? Now, if you're somebody who's only worried about you, you can't worry about if somebody else's rent is getting paid. The general worried about if your rent's getting paid, if you got a roof over your head, if you ate today. You understand? Like it's putting everybody else's life before your own. You understand? It's treating everybody that's in the school as if they're your burden or your responsibility. Bear each other's burdens means your problem is my problem. I have to help come up with a solution for this. Read on.
And so fulfill the law of Christ. For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself.
You understand? That's another thing, man. Don't play yourself. Listen, if I used to get checked all the time for saying I ain't shit, because, you know what I'm saying, I'm always told that, you know what I'm saying, I'm a priest and prophet of the Most High. But when I say it, I'm not saying it in the capacity that I'm a scallywag. I'm saying it because I know that none of this is of my own. You understand? I know that all of like who's in here because this is what you wanted to do. You understand? The shit that I wanted to do got me locked up. You understand? The things that I wanted to do got me in trouble. The things that I wanted to do would have had my life in shambles. You know what I mean? Listen, me and Dawada were in the world together, you know what I'm saying? Running wild all throughout Florida. You know what I mean? Like, you never could have told me that this is where we would have been when we first met each other. Ever in life. Because this is the Most High's program. None of this is our program. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't our Passover. This is the Lord's Passover that we celebrating. Coming up. None of us is in here, you know what I'm saying, because we was with each other shooting in the gym. The Most High brought all of us together. So as a result, from all of us being together, you can't get inside here. Like, here's what you got to realize, man. Rank is brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Like rank is not for you to boast in yourself and glorify yourself and think that this is of you. You understand? Rank is service. You know what I mean? I'm in here right now giving you a service, teaching you what I know, teaching you what I've learned, scheduling it, coming here, getting here on time to pour all this out, to take all of your questions, because I'm serving each and every one of you. If you can't put other people before yourself, then you'll never be able to achieve anything in here. You understand? Like everything in the scriptures, even when it says, seek ye the wealth of your brother first, the more that you try to do from you for yourself, the more you taken away, you understand, from what this place actually is, because even our economy is brotherhood. That's why what weren't you able to do with the borders of a vineyard?
It's like, sir, if I may, you couldn't trim the borders of the vineyard.
Couldn't glean it, meaning you couldn't harvest it.
Right.
You know why?
Carnal concert is for the brotherhood, for the poor,
You understand? For the poor and for who else?
for the widows,
And
and the disabled, or
the strangers.
just kind of.
Because you got to think about it, right? If I came to the land of Issachar, right? I'm an Ephraimite. Can I own property in that land? No, I'm a stranger. Like think about this, right? Like if you were to go into a gated community and you don't know anybody there, what happens? You get kicked out. What rights do you have in that community? None, because you don't own anything there. You understand? So now imagine imagine you're going through a land that's gated, and all the food is on the other side of that gate, but you're hungry. How do you get food? It's up to that community to be able to help feed you. It's up to that land, you understand, to be able to provide something for you, because do you have a right to the community? No. So they got to show you brotherhood when you come. So the corners, the borders of the vineyard weren't gleaned, so that this way the poor, the fatherless, the widows, the non-inheritors of that land would be able to sustain themselves. Our economy is brotherhood. You can't have that, you understand, without power. You can't have that without being able to think about others. Like Yahweh Shah said that the whole law hinges on what? Raise your hand though. No sweat. Go ahead, take the mic.
Love the Most High and love your brother like you love yourself.
You understand? So you know what that means? Every single law that we run through is either about loving the Most High or brotherhood. Every single law. Even when it comes down to, this is another thing that the Christians don't understand. Which law would not wearing mixed fabrics fall under?
Love the Most High. Oh.
No sweat. Good.
It's like, sir, it's under commerce, under
What type? There's either one or two things: loving the Most High or your brother.
brotherhood.
Brotherhood. How?
To be honest with your brother.
You understand? Because by selling fabric that's only 100% of itself, you know what I can't do? I can't sell you something fake. I can't sell you something mixed. I can't tell you it's 100% silk and it's mixed with cotton. I have to sell you the right product. You understand? Now in America, it's different because they put the list of all the fabrics on there. It's a completely different culture. But that law is so you don't hustle and scheme on your brother. Every one of our laws are concerning brotherhood. So when you're reading this Bible, like if there's anything you guys could understand, right? Like this book is a constitution. Like think about it, right? The first 5 books. What's another name for the first 5 books of the Bible?
Torah.
The Torah. What else? What's another?
Law.
Law of
God.
Sure. Good.
The law of Moses.
Law of Moses, the books of Moses, right? So this is what we know. Those first 5 books were compiled during Moses' time. Prior to that, we had oral traditions. Come Moses, we start writing all this down. I want you to really think about this, right? We were inside of Egypt, just like we're inside of America today. If all of us, right, blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians were to all meet in one place and then say, we're going somewhere into Central and South America, we're about to have an exodus, right? We're leaving. We get into the wilderness, you know what we have to do? Rebuild society. The Bible is your constitution. The Bible explains how you can rebuild your entire society. And you know what you need? You need laws on commerce. You need laws on marriage. You need laws on everything that's going to govern. You need laws on property. You need laws for the priest. You need laws for civilians. You need laws for kings. There's literally laws inside of here that govern our entire society. Now think about this. They made it to the promised land, and in 60 years, they established moral order. And they did it because this book is how you rebuild the people. So when you're reading the law, you're reading how to govern society. You're literally reading like you gotta really think about this. They left Egypt, went in the wilderness, received this law, policed the law, conquered their entire land, and then this is what built that entire civilization. You can't do that without leaders. But there's specific types, right? So here's the first thing, right? Give me Exodus 15:3. Please.
The book of Exodus 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war.
He's what?
A man of war.
Now, who put these signs up? You? Lord. The Lord. Listen, man, it was, but did the Lord have you do it? Get his brother a hand. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. You know why? Because he didn't give me any excuses to do this. In 1 week, I come in here, I see don't be sure, make sure on the wall, and I see no excuses, and I see it the exact way I pictured it in my head. It's incredible, right? You think men of war make excuses? Y'all think soldiers make excuses? You think soldiers got luxury when they're in war? When soldiers are in the middle of a field, you think they got a nice porcelain toilet? You shitting in a hole. You understand? And what's crazy is they even said, you know what I'm saying, when you go to the bathroom, you know what I'm saying, throw dirt back over that and cover it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's laws even when we go to war for cleanliness. Good? Mike?
I had help doing these signs.
Did you run the operation?
Colonel Consul.
Then you get the credit. You know what I'm saying? The water to the brothers who helped you. You know what I'm saying? And it's very, you know what I'm saying, earnestly. What brothers helped you?
Trooper Hawal, Barack, and a sister helped me.
Well, let's clap it up for them as well. You understand? All right. And that's excellent work. And you know what I'm saying? Very modest of you, you know what I'm saying, to give them the credit, you know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. But just know, when you're in charge of an operation, you get the glory. And when you fail in the operation, guess what? I'm not going to check him. You think I'm checking the trooper for something I told you to do? Yeah, I ain't think so. Shit rolls downhill. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it goes. So the burden of responsibility is when something goes wrong while you're in charge, you're to blame. You understand? You guys got to understand what you're asking for when you want rank in here. You understand? Because rank ain't just so people stand up when you walk in the room. It's not the most glorious garment. You understand? It's being a man of war. And you have to go to war with everything. Like, we're at war with not eating pork. You understand? Like, we're not silent about it. I'm not fine with swine. I'm vocal about it because silence is agreement. You understand? We're at war with homosexuality. We're at war with alternative lifestyles. We're at war, you understand, with every principality in the earth. We're against it. We're contrary to it. And you know what? Let me tell you something. When you agree with everybody, you got friends. You understand? You want to know why we're so hated? Because we're at war with everybody. We're at war with your favorite fake Israelite group. You understand? We're at war with the Christian church. We're at war with Islam. We're at war with everything that is against what God gave us. All right. Finish that verse.
The Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea.
You understand? And the Lord destroyed Pharaoh's army. That's what I need y'all to know. He destroyed, he destroyed ancient Egypt, just like he's going to destroy modern Egypt today, modern Babylon today. Everything that's happening right now in the world is gearing up to free blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. Drop that. Give me 2 Timothy 2 and 3.
The book of 2 Timothy. Chapter 2, verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier.
As a good what?
As a good soldier.
As a good what?
Soldier.
Go ahead.
Of Christ.
You understand? Of who?
Of Christ.
It should say of Jesus Christ.
Of Jesus Christ.
You understand? You got to read it as is. We're not changing the word of God. You understand? Endure all, you understand, hardness as a soldier of Yahushua Mashiach. Listen, man, this place is not for the weak. We are looking for leaders. If you want to be a leader in here, you know what you need? No excuses. Don't be sure. Make sure. You know what that is? That's universal and practical knowledge. You can't just assume. That's why if I give an order, you understand, you know what else I do after I give the order? I say, now, what do I want done? Spit it back to me to see if you understand the order. I'm not just going to, you understand, be sure that you understand me. I want to make sure that you understand me. You understand? Sometimes, you know what else I got to do? Text me when this is done. Check back in with me on Wednesday when this is done. I'll give you till Wednesday and then send me a text by this time. You know why? I want to make sure. And then if I don't get the text by a certain time, you know what's happened? Now I'm looking for you. I need to know. This has to get done. Y'all with me? You got to endure all hardship, and hardship is going to come. We're soldiers in here. This ain't about being comfortable. This ain't about being liked. This ain't about being popular. This is about a job. We're at war. You understand? Like, we are behind enemy lines. I don't know if y'all understand that. Like, we have not made it anywhere yet. Now, we got this school. We're building. We're growing. You understand? But you gotta look at it like, if this is a small sanctuary and this is a piece of our kingdom, how do we expand our domain? How do we make it better? How do we make it greater? That's what everybody got to think. Everybody got to look at this place. You understand? That's why, listen, pulling up and seeing y'all cleaning the windows, you care about this place. This place means something to you when you want to actually shepherd it, when you want to actually take care of it. It's up to each and every single one of us to take care of this place and to put love into this place. All right. Read the next verse.
Verse 4. No man that warreth entangleth himself the affairs of this life.
You understand? You can't, when you're at this war, you cannot allow the affairs of this world to distract you. You understand? Like your friends from the world, who got locked up, who overdosed, your woman who's still in the world, whatever the case may be. All these different things, you understand? Like I can't tell you how many things, how many calls I get from family in the world. What good is it for me to even counsel you? You don't live by the same code that I live by. Now I'm gonna go and pour all my energy into somebody that don't even love the Lord. I have to, you understand, being in this position, being a soldier, being a captain, I have to entangle myself with the affairs of us. We have to entangle each other with the affairs of each other. We have to bear each other's burdens. We have to endure this hardship together. You understand? Think about how much things would be so much harder if you didn't have a brother in here to call. Now, every time you call your brother in here, they show up because we bear each other's burdens in here, because we are each other's responsibility. Finish the verse.
That he may possess him.
That he may what?
That he may, Salakia, that he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier.
So now here's something else that you got to realize. How many of y'all came in the truth alone? You understand? Half the room. Yeah, I came in here with Officer Dawada. I had to drag him, but you know what I'm saying? He came in here. You know what I'm saying? Like now think about how many more people, you know what I'm saying, we used to run with. You know what I mean? Think about how many people are still out there that they're not here. You get what I'm saying? You know why? You were chosen. You were chosen. You were chosen. You were chosen. You were picked. You understand? All of you were picked and chosen in order to be in here. So as a result, you're going to let the person down who chose us, who decided to clean us up? Because, you know, we could still be out there. We could still be high. We could still be out here with no wisdom, no identity, no brotherhood. You understand? Not preparing for food shortages, not preparing for everything else that's going on in the world, not trying to acquire farmland, none of that. We could just be out there lost right now. You know how many blacks and Latinos I talk to that are horrified that Trump's in office? That are horrified that there's damn near civil war in Mexico, horrified that there's you know what I'm saying, war going on in Iraq and Iran. And I'm sitting here just reading the pages, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, man, we waiting for the Dan, y'all. Because wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of the times. You could be unstable out there with no knowledge and no wisdom. All right. Drop that. Give me 1 Corinthians 14 and 40.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
May what?
Let all things be done decently and in order.
And that's how we do things in here. You understand? How do we serve food in here? In decency and in order. When we car up, how do we do things in decency and in order? Yo, think about in the world. You understand? Even when you was a kid, when your mans first got their whip, you had to slap box your friend to get shotgun. You know what I'm saying? Like if you didn't have like a real hierarchy in your friend group, right? And know who was who. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what you had to do? Like, no, I got shotgun. Y'all fighting for the car. Now think about everybody knows their position when we car up, how much cleaner and decently and in order that is. You understand? We ain't got to fight about that no more. We ain't got to fight over who takes the trash out. You understand? Baby bro does that job. You understand? Because you know what big bro's doing? He's watching for the wolves. Baby bro, you don't send him out there to kill the lion. You don't send him out there, you understand, to kill the coyote. Big bro got to go do that. So you know what baby bro does? Baby bro takes out the trash. I was baby bro once. I took out the trash. I mopped the floor. I cleaned toilets. That's what you do. You pay your dues. Which is really what kills me when people say, like, we're all brothers. Okay, like when they talk about, like, you ever hear a fake Israelite try to talk about, like, try to get away from rank? And then you ask them one question. You got brothers? Yeah. Who's the oldest? My brother was. When your parents left y'all home alone, who was in charge? Big brother. Oh, so you mean that even amongst brothers, there's big bro, huh? But if someone came home and something was broken, or if you got hurt as baby bro, who got in trouble? Big bro got in trouble. Y'all want to be big brother, y'all better understand the responsibility that comes with being big bro. All right. Everything is to be done decently and in order. Drop that. Let's go to the start of this. Give me Exodus 18 and 21.
The book of Exodus 18, verse 21. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them.
All right, you know what? Drop that. No, don't drop that. But let's drop down. Let's actually read a little bit right now. Let's go to drop down to 13. Let's start at 13.
Verse 13. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moses from the morning unto the evening.
Brother, that's like you ever see General Mahaiman when he comes out for a cookout at the end of class, and then there's a line of people just waiting for him, and he just sits after he just taught a class. He just sits in that room and then counsels everybody. You understand? Moses used to hear all the burdens of all the people and judge matters. That's what he used to do. Everything we do in the school, you could read about our forefathers doing it. Read on.
Verse 14. And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, what is this thing that thou doest to the people?
He said,
he said, what is this thing that thou doest to the people?
Yup, good.
Why sittest thou thyself alone? And all the people stand by thee from morning unto evening.
You understand? He basically, what's up?
It says unto even.
Yup. Excellent work. So now, good catch. He's saying this like you're gonna burn yourself out. You know what I mean? He basically about to tell him, listen, work smarter, not harder. Go ahead.
Verse 15. And Moses said unto his father-in-law, because the people come unto me to inquire of God, when they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another. And I do make them know the statutes of God and his laws.
So he's like, well, I'm in this position. I need them to understand, what the Most High is requiring of them. Read on.
Verse 17. And Moses' father-in-law said unto him, the thing that thou doest is not good.
Good.
Thou wilt surely wear away both thou and his people that is with thee. For this thing is too heavy for thee. For thou art not able to perform it thyself alone.
So he's saying it's too many people for you to bear all these burdens. You got to spread some of this work out. Delegation. There's a portion of leadership that is delegation. You cannot lead in here without being able to delegate. You understand? And it's why we also have a counseling department. There's a counselor in every city. I was one of the counselors in headquarters. Captain Nazaryak was over, you understand, that inside of New York, handles all the marriage councils, so on and so forth. You understand? I sit in some of the councils out here inside of Texas. You understand? Because you have to be able to judge matters of the people. Read on.
Verse 19. Hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee. But thou, for the people to God word, that thou mayest bring the causes unto God.
Good.
And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shall shew them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do.
Good.
Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all people, of all the people, able men.
What type of men?
Able men.
What type of men?
Able men.
You need to find able men. You understand? Capable men. Go ahead.
Such as fear God.
That what?
Fear God.
Listen, brother, you understand? You need to fear the Lord inside of this capability. Go ahead.
Men of truth.
Of what?
Truth.
You understand? Men without guile. Men with truth. Go ahead.
Hating covetousness.
You understand? Meaning that if you put them in this position of power, they're not just going to want to take from everybody. They're not just jealous of other people. They don't just seek after what somebody else has. Good.
And place such over them to be rulers of thousands and rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s and rulers of 10s.
You understand? And what do we have? We have officers. That's a ruler. You understand? We got officers of 50, officers of 100, 500, 1,000. You understand? 5,000. Captains of 10,000. You understand? And it's all spread out with all these burdens all over. What you're looking at is, this is the beginning of the government of Israel. Read on.
Verse 22. And let them judge the people that all seasons, and it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge.
So it's damn near like you got state court and Supreme Court, right? You got small matters like you got small claims court, and the bigger the matter, the higher up the court. You got some courts you might just have a captain sitting in. You got another one, General Mahayman sits in. Then you got another one where all 7 generals are sitting inside that council, and your captain, another captain, all of the above, because this is a high matter. You understand? It's great matters, small matters. And like that, this machine just keeps rolling, just keeps moving. Go ahead.
But every small matter they shall judge, so shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee.
And they shall what?
Bear the burden with thee.
Was that just listening to advice? Was that just prayer? No, this is work. This is bearing the burden. You understand? It's you know, think about, you could have something, you understand, like see that punching bag back there, that whole machine? Could move that whole thing on my own. But if I pick up a piece and you pick up a piece and you pick up a piece, it's a lot easier to move, ain't it? We're bearing the burden together. Read on.
If thou shalt do this thing, and God command thee so, then thou shalt be able to endure. And all this people shall also go to their place in peace. So Moses hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law and did all that he had said.
Good.
And Moses chose able men.
What type of men?
Able men.
Good.
Out of all Israel, and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s.
So now let's show where this gets just a little bit more detailed. Let's go to Deuteronomy 1 and 11. And here's what I want you to do. Pass that mic and bear this burden of reading. All right.
The book of
pass the mic. Let somebody else read. You're doing an excellent job, but here's what we're going to do. Since we're talking about bearing burdens, we're going to bear the burden of reading. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 11.
The Lord God of your fathers make you 1,000 times so many more as you are, and bless you as he hath promised you.
See, the Most High keeps his promises. You understand? He keeps his promises. He blessed us. He made us as the sands of the seashore. This is why Moses is now about to, like he hearkened onto his father-in-law, right? Now this is where he comes and he institutes the government. Go ahead.
How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance,
Good.
and your burden, and your strife?
How can I alone bear all your strife, all your burdens, all these issues, all your problems, all your quarrels? Go ahead.
Take you wise men and understanding.
What type?
Wise men and understanding.
Go ahead.
And known among your tribes.
And what?
And known among your tribes.
Here's something else too. You understand? Ain't nobody getting inside here. That's a mystery. We got to know you inside here. And you know, what do you think is one of the greatest ways that we could know you? Raise your hand. But what you said is true. Through your work. We got to know you by your work. You know what I know? I know you work your ass off. You know how I know? Because I pulled up and you was washing windows. So I already believe that you're a workhorse. I know you work. You know how I know you work? Because I came inside here and the signs is up. You understand? Him, I can't stop him from working. Damn workhorse. You know what I'm saying? You got to know you by your works, by your wisdom, by your understanding. You want to know how you get in this position? You got to be capable. You got to fear the Lord. You got to not covet. You understand from what somebody else has. Read on. He'll get it on his own. Reread 13.
Take you wise men and understanding.
And read a little louder.
Take you wise men and understanding, known among your tribes, and I will make them rulers over you.
Good.
And ye answered me and said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do.
Good.
So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men and known, and made them heads over you, captains of thousands, captains over hundreds, captains over 50s, captains over tens, and officers among your tribes.
You understand? That's when they created officers from among our tribes. That's when they took this rank system, you understand, and it was instituted. And this became our government. And now when you're in, I'm 12. And now when you're inside this position, this is what you're supposed to do. Nice and loud. Keep reading.
And I charge your judges at the time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with him.
You understand? And make sure that whether they're great or whether they're low, that you judge properly. Hear the causes of them. Go ahead.
Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great.
You understand? Meaning that if you were to take me to counsel, right, as a trooper, the judge proceeding over the council is not just going to take my word because I'm a captain of 10,000. You understand? That's not how this thing works. You understand? If you took a general to counsel, they're not just going to hear the general. I'm going to tell you something, man. Like it's, if I'm right or wrong in a council, I'm getting checked for just being there, being a captain. Because to whom much is given, much is required. So in your judgment, you can't be partial just because somebody's great. You understand? You can't be partial just because somebody has a position somewhere. Even if a celebrity was the role inside here. You know what I mean? If your favorite rapper came inside this school tomorrow, he'd have to mop floors. Don't give a damn how many records you sold. This is the house of the Lord. Read on.
Ye shall not be afraid of the face of men, for the judgment is God's.
It's what?
It's God's.
Here's something else that y'all got to realize. When a judgment comes in council, that's the Lord's will. It's not man's will. None of this is of us, because I asked y'all earlier, who is in here because this is what you thought you were going to do. The Lord called you to be in here. We read that verse when it said, endure all hardship as a good soldier. And you understand, it said, because he chose you. That means you were doing something else and you got chosen for this task. Now that you've been chosen for this task, you got to see it through, my boy. Read on.
And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me and I will hear it.
Hold it right there, right? So now, the cause that's too hard, the conversations that's too tough, you know what you do? You bring it to the man above you. The only person that all this is on the shoulders of is Commanding General Yohana. That's why I don't want that seat. You understand? Like y'all talking about how to become a general. I'm not telling you that, you know what I'm saying? If it happened, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be like, all right, Most High in Christ, I'm in no rush. Trying to tell you, ye know not what ye ask of. You don't understand. You don't understand the level of sacrifices that have to be made, the parts of yourself that you have to kill, your own demons that you have to battle. You understand? your character flaws that you have to battle. Listen, you could have something on you that isn't a sin, but you're just an asshole. You understand? I used to be one. Might still be a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. I'm working on it. We're all works in progress. All right. But my point is, you understand, all of those things got to be visited. You got to be tried in that furnace of affliction. It's damn near like, you got to think about this, right? Like you think about getting a broken bone, right? And then not putting the cast on it. And now it don't heal right. And you walking funny, but you just got used to it. And you think this is walking normal. But if one day turns around and you're like, man, I can't keep walking like this no more. What got to be done to fix your leg? You got to break it. Raise your hand, but you got to break it again. Y'all think that's pleasant? Raise your hand too. Go ahead.
If he has to break it again, he's gonna have to go through the pain again.
You give him a hand. That's absolutely true, young man. You understand? It's going to be painful because your leg got to be broken again. But this time we're going to put it in the cast. It's going to be itchy. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to be able to be, your mobility is going to be lowered. You understand? But eventually it's going to be healed. Well, you got spiritual bones that are going to have to be broken and realigned in here. And that process is going to be painful. And not everybody is willing to endure that pain. Not everybody's willing to bear that burden. Not everybody is willing. And that's why we read it last week, the parable of the sower. Some fall on good ground, some fall on stony ground, some fall amongst the thorns. But it's he who endures to the end, the same shall be saved. You know, endure is there for a reason. If we don't run marathons, right? But let's put boxing. If you want to make it 12 rounds, you know what you need? Endurance. That's how it goes. And let me tell y'all something. There's a different type of endurance when it comes down to shadow boxing than when you actually in the ring. You might be able to shadow box for 6 rounds, but that 6 rounds might only equate to 3 in an actual ring. It's completely different. It's completely different on that punching bag than when you actually in the ring. See, you know what the hell I'm talking about. I see you shaking your head because, you know what I'm saying? Because even when I could do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, when I was boxing, I had a crazy regimen. Crazy. But I got in the ring and even after running 2 miles, after 700 meters on the rowing machine, after 9 minutes of jump rope, you understand? After running these circuits, after 5 3-minute rounds on the damn heavy bag, and then another 3-round shadow boxing, and then running up and down the steps, I get in the ring and still gas out after 3 rounds. It's a different type of stamina. You have to endure to the end, though. Otherwise, you're gonna get knocked out in the 3rd or the 4th. You know what I'm saying? I want you to really think about even the average fight in the world. What is it? 20 seconds and it's over. Who got the endurance to actually fight for 3 minutes? 3 whole minutes. You understand? Then rest for 30 seconds to 1 minute and then get back in the ring, go another 3 minutes. This is why you got to endure to the end. All right. Drop that. Give me Numbers 11 and 17.
And I will come down and talk with thee there. And I will take the spirit which is upon thee, and will put it upon them. And they shall bear the burden of the people with thee. And thou shalt bear it not thyself alone.
You understand? Because in Numbers, do you know what we did? We organized ourselves. We organized ourselves with the chief of the tribes. And then once the tribes were organized into these ranks of captains, then they were set out to bear the burdens of each other. Y'all realizing something about rank yet? You understand? Is rank about rulership? What's your rank about? No, so listen, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. I see you fighting it, though.
Helping.
You understand? Or I'll give you a better word. Help is a good word. Help is an excellent word. You understand? Service. I'll give you a biblical word. Ministering. Ministering is service. It's serving. You understand? We are servants inside here. That's when you minister to something, you serve it. You're serving that cause. That's what we do. And in that process, you know what we don't do? He pointed the same time as me. We don't make excuses because we're what? Soldiers. So I pointed to y'all. So y'all, we're soldiers, right? And we're coming just like these little ones. That's what the hell we are. Drop that. Give me you know, we went over that last week. Let me give me Exodus 4 and 14. We'll read it again. We'll go over it again. This is right on topic.
The anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses. And he said, is not Aaron the Levite thou brother?
So now, let me tell y'all something. You know why the Lord was angry at Moses right here? Moses was giving the Lord excuses. Every time the Lord told him to do something, Moses had an answer for it instead of con out of one con and just getting it done. Pass the mic to this young man.
If like excuses make he was asking excuses to like do this instead of that, because like God didn't like that, so he was mad at him.
Right. Just like when your dad tells you to do something and you make an excuse, he don't like it either. You know what he wants you to do when he say clean the room? You clean the room. Give him a hand. All right, keep reading.
I know that he can speak. I know that he can speak well. And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee. And when you see it thee, he will be glad in his heart.
You understand? So this is what he's saying. The Lord is trying to tell Moses to speak. Moses is like, I'm slow in speech. The Lord's like, who made the tongue? I'm going to be with you. You know what? I'm going to send your brother. All right. I'm tired of these excuses. I'm going to find another man to do the job. Y'all better realize the Lord could find somebody else to do a job. Read on.
Thou shalt speak unto him and put words in his mouth. And I will be with thy mouth and with his mouth and will teach you what ye shall do.
Good.
And he shall be thy spokesman unto the people. And he shall be he shall be to thee instead of a mouth, and thou shalt be to him instead of God.
You understand? So this is rank. So if Aaron wants to know what God thinks, what does he have to do? Talk to Moses. You understand? If you want to know what God thinks, what do you have to do? Pick up the phone. That's what you do. You pick up the phone, you understand, and you call your captain, and your captain will tell you what God thinks. That's how you solve problems. That's how this thing goes. Because those ranks that were given out are given out by who? The Lord. You understand? They're in that position because their counsel, what do we read about that counsel? It says that counsel, that judgment is of the Lord. So if you can't solve a problem and you want to know what God thinks, you go to counsel. And the counsel will tell you what God thinks. It's that simple. Now, go against the counsel. Here's what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to be foolish enough to think that when General Muhammad says, this is my suggestion, you think it's a suggestion. I want you to take it as an option and tell me how that works out for you. You understand? General Muhammad suggests something to me. I understand con out of one con. I'm going to go do that. That is what will be done. Because if not, I know what's on the other side of it. Listen, man, I did things my way for a long time. I don't need that no more. And eventually, here's what'll happen eventually. Eventually, the voice in your head, instead of picking up the phone, you'll call for counsel so much, you'll start to hear their voice. Like I'll be out and I'll be in a situation, I'll be like, what would General Muhammad tell me right now? And now I have the answer. And if I can't hear his voice, you know what I do? Shalom, sir. Shabarak Salakia. You got a second? And then I ask to hear his voice. Because I know if left to my own devices, I'm going to mess up. I know that. I know that from the 22 years that I was in the world and all the mistakes that I made. You understand? And I know how much better my life has been since following this counsel and this instruction. And there's nothing greater than having someone with all the answers. It's beautiful. It's honestly amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the burden. Because if you're in that seat, guess what? You better have the answer and you better be correct. Because what happens if he gives you some counsel and it's wrong? Can't trust him now. Is this really of the Lord? You just became a stumbling block. Now, when that brother leaves the school, guess whose blood's on, whose hands is on? You're red-handed. Y'all want to climb the heights? Don't skip no steps. You understand? Y'all want to be great inside here? Let your work speak for you. Not just your mouth. Let your reputation. Let the men above you turn around and be like, this is an able man. This is a man with wisdom. There's a man who's known amongst these tribes. He deserves this position. And it's going to be the Lord who puts you inside that position. Drop that. Give me Mark 6:30.
And the apostles gathered to themselves together unto Jesus, and told him all things, both what they had done and what they had taught.
Good.
And he said unto them, come ye yourselves apart into the desert place, rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. And they departed into the desert place by ship privately. And the people saw them departing, and many knew him, and ran afoot thither out of all the cities, and out went them, and came together unto him.
Good.
And Jesus, when he came out, saw much people, and was moved with compassion toward them, because they were as sheep not having a shepherd, and began to teach them many things.
Good.
And when the day was now far spent, his disciples came unto him and said, this is a desert place, and now the time is far past.
So now there's a whole gang of people, man, who've been out here, you know what I'm saying, while he's teaching, but now a lot of time passes. Good.
Send them away, that they may go into the country round about, into the villages, and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat.
So now the disciples is looking at the burdens of the people and is like, yeah, send them away. They'll handle it. Good.
And he answered and said unto them, give ye them to eat.
So now Yahweh Shah is in charge. The next up in rank is the 12. Anybody under the 12, you understand, is lower in rank than them. You understand? So the disciples being among the highest rank among Christ made it their responsibility to serve the people. He said, you feed them. Good.
And they say unto him, shall we go and buy 200 penny worth of bread and give them to eat?
Good.
He said unto them, how many loaves have ye? Go and see. And when they knew, they say 5 and 2 fishes.
You understand? So now this is, of course, you understand the miracle of when he breaks the bread. Now he feeds all these people. However, before he fed them, look at how they organized them. Go ahead.
He commanded them to make all sit down by companies upon the green grass.
Where's a word you usually hear? Companies.
Groups.
Groups. What type of groups? Passing the mic.
Military groups.
In the
sir.
military. Now read that next verse.
And they sat down in ranks by hundreds and by fifties.
You understand? And what?
By hundreds and by fifties.
You understand? Now they sat down in ranks. It's all right. Just make sure the volume's off moving forward. You understand? He sat them down in ranks. Rank is all over the Bible. You understand? It's all over the scriptures. Y'all ain't never been to a UPK event and it says everybody below 500 on me, and then y'all get work distributed. Brother, everything we do inside this school, you find inside that Bible. There was even rank among Christ and the disciples, and he sat all them people down in companies and in ranks, and then fed them in order. Listen, man, welcome to the truth. Drop that. I'll give you another one. Give me Joshua 5:13. And let's pass this around. Pass the mic. Let your Kyle get some.
It's the book of Joshua, chapter 5, verse 13. And it came to pass, when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, Art thou for us or for our adversaries?
You understand? So Joshua sees this cat and he's like, yo, you for us or against us? Like, yo, here's what I want y'all to understand, right? Yeah. Do y'all know why we say peace to each other? Yeah.
It's like, sir, if I may, we say peace as a quota check to see where your heart's at.
You get what I'm saying? This is what peace is, right? You walking down the street, you make eye contact with somebody, right? And then what happened? And you give me the nod back. You know what that means? We cool. Now, if I don't give you the nod back and I keep staring, what do you automatically assume? There is no peace.
Right.
I want you to know, peace is not what the fake is. Shalom, family. Mir Pasha. Shabbat Shalom. That's not what this is. You understand? Peace is shalom. Shalom. Peace is we have mutual peace and agreement. It's that head nod. You know what I mean? That's what peace is in our culture. Are you friend or are you foe? Good.
I've heard people say Shalom.
Yeah, no, I was making fun of them. We don't say that.
No, I know, brother. I just wanted to know what it meant or where.
It's like pronouncing banana. You know what I'm saying? Would you like some banana pudding? See how ridiculous that sounds? That's what it is. It's gibberish. It's banana. You want a banana shake with peanut butter? Good. Read on.
Verse 14. And he said, Nay, but as captain of the host of the Lord.
Hold on. As what?
As captain of the host of the Lord.
So host is an army, captain is a rank, but of the Lord means what?
Of Yahweh, sir.
Right. Who did he just run into?
An angel.
An angel. You understand that there's even captains in the ranks in heaven? When Yahweh Shah told us how to pray, what did he say? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So the way he got things set up top, He wants them set up down here. What you bind on earth, you bind in heaven. What you bind in heaven, you bind on earth. Ain't that how it go?
Come.
So as a result, you understand the Most High is over everybody up top. Who's over everybody down here?
It's like if I may. Yahushua.
Yahushua. And then Yahushua got his disciples, and then so on and so forth. The Most High got his council of elders, and so on and so forth. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So there's captains in heaven, there's captains on earth. Read on, finish it.
Of the host of the Lord am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship.
And did what?
And did worship.
Here's another thing. You got to get rid of the religiousness of worship. You understand? Because angels were worshipped in the Bible. Christ was worshipped in the Bible. The king was worshipped in the Bible. You understand? But the worship is the fear of the Lord.
Right.
Because that's the Lord's representative. Drop that. Give me Ephesians 6 and 5.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 5. Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh.
Say that again.
Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh.
Read on.
With fear and trembling, in singleness of your heart, as unto Christ.
Yeah, so here's what y'all got to realize, right? Is that in the process of the men above you that are here for your service, you also have to obey our instruction. And the reason being is because I'm not instructing you to pick up my laundry on Tuesday. I'm not instructing you to rule over you. I'm instructing you to change your life and save your soul. I'm instructing you to teach you discipline. I'm instructing you to kill the old man that's inside you that's trying to drag you back to hell. You understand? We are instructing you in the same capacity which we were instructed.
Right.
So as a result, you understand, it's up for y'all to follow that instruction because it's for your own benefit, just like my instruction was for my own benefit. And in the same capacity, what was done for you, you do for the men who come after you. You don't skip no steps. You don't water down these ranks. You make sure that you teach them same way I was taught. You know what I was taught? Raise your hand in class. You understand? You know what I was taught? Troopers wear all black. You know what I was taught? Troopers do not teach. You got to pass your officer's test to understand to become a teacher. You know what I was taught? Young men and troopers do not come to the club with us. That's what I was taught. You understand? You got to earn your place in here. You understand? You earn it through your works. You earn it through your discipline. Why do we tell brothers to wear all black? He raised his hand first.
Is it to kind of like you're shedding yourself over the world?
It's true.
Like
little more.
Like mourning? Like mourning?
No.
The dying of the old man?
No, it's not mourning. Pass it back.
It's to shed the individualism out of you.
That's a piece of it. What else? No? All right, I'll tell y'all. Number one, it's a tradition. But the reason why we have this tradition is because if somebody was sitting in this room and they were a young man that wasn't in all black, and another young man comes in and he puts on all black, what does it tell you about? What does it tell you about the man that's not in all black?
He's not serious.
He's not serious at all. You understand? Because we say any brother who wants to be a part of this body, put on your all black. You understand? Boots, shirts, headbands, war scarves. You understand? So on and so forth. Because you know what it shows me? You want to be here. I don't even see a brother unless they're in all black. It don't even matter to me. Good to see you. You guys can learn his name. I'm gonna forget it. I don't care till he got his Hebrew name. You understand? I don't remember what the hell your name was. I remember Kawal. You understand? That's what I know. Because whoever the hell you were before can't be here.
Right.
It's not how it goes. You're going backwards then. And that goes for you. I don't know what the hell your goddamn name is. You know what I'm saying? Hell, man. I don't remember half these things, man. You understand? Because what it comes down to is you have to embrace who the Lord is calling you to be. You understand? And that's what all this instruction is about. That's what all this tutelage is about. That's what all this discipline is about, because that's what combats the old man. And that's why when you see certain things, here's what else you got to know, right? If you're the highest ranked man in the room, it's up to you to then raise the young men that's underneath you. Because listen, if you're in this school right now and it's just those two troopers and something goes wrong, once again, guess who I'm blaming? If I'm not here, guess who he's blaming? Since I am here, guess who they blaming? So as a result, you got to make sure that in the same capacity of what was done to you, you pass on. You understand? And guess what else you got to pass on? Long suffering, patience. Got to be patient with each other, man. Well, you think you didn't make mistakes? I know I made mistakes. But I think damn near every time I talk to the generals, I'd be like, the water for long suffering with me. You know what I mean? I know I'm not easy to get. You know what I'm saying? I already know. You know what I'm saying? So as a result, be patient with y'all. You understand? That's how this thing works. That's how this thing moves. And you don't slack on it. You understand? You don't skip steps, because you skip those steps, you're going to raise a weak man. And that's not going to be good for either one of you. Like we're only as strong as our weakest link. You know what I'm saying? We're only as strong as each other. And here's the thing. Everybody's going to have different strengths and weaknesses. Everybody's going to have different gifts and abilities. Where do you find out your gifts and abilities?
In your work, sir.
Specifically where? Raise your hand. Okay.
In here?
In here. Okay. How about at camp?
Yeah.
You know, when I watch a man at camp and I see he's always on a swivel, he don't get distracted, I know he's great for Shamar. I know he should be in the Shamar department. You know what I'm saying? Like camp, from all that different practicality, right? You're gonna find a brother, you know what I'm saying, that you find that he's good at building. You know what I'm saying? He built the camp equipment. Now he in charge over the maintenance inside the school because he can fix and repair things. All of your gifts and abilities is going to come out. And guess what? You as a leader, it's up to you to be able to see that and to put brothers where they are. Brother, love being on that camera. Just so happened when he on that camera footage is the best. He should be in the video department, because this is a body. Everybody has different gifts. You understand? Like, I mean, I'm never in the Shamar department. It's not like I just don't know danger, but there's just brothers that, you know, they'll crawl under the car with a mirror to check for a bomb. That's his gift. That's what he does. You understand? There's a brother who just is extremely wise and compassionate. You understand? And as a result, he gonna be able to counsel, because in his judgment, he's gonna show mercy. Everybody's gifts are going to shine through. You understand? And it only happens when we're able to see them, when they're able to come out and to be performed, which is why you got to show up to camp. Because earlier, what was one of the prerequisites, you understand, for you to be able to get inside that position? Got to be known. If I only see you at cookouts, I don't know you. You just came for the steak? If I only see you at high holy days, I don't know you. You know the men who labor among you. You ain't got no labor. How the hell do I know you? You got no resume. Like when you want to go for a job in the world, what's the first thing you do? You put your resume together. Even if you lie on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know what? Not on God's resume, because the Lord knows, but on your resume in the world, lie on that shit. They will train you. You know what I'm saying? Get that position. You know what I'm saying? But you need something on paper, don't you? Well, the Lord sees what you're doing here. So why don't you make sure what's being put down on paper is right? That's how this goes. Listen, you asked earlier, how do you become a general? I'm giving you the blueprint right now. This whole time it was in this Bible. This whole time. This is how this place runs and operates. All right, hold that. Give me 1 Peter 5:5.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, verse 5. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder.
What should you do?
Submit yourselves unto the elder.
Go ahead.
Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For God resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble.
You understand? Like, listen, man, if you want grace, you're going to have to give it. If you don't show mercy, you're not going to be shown mercy. That's how it goes. You got to realize that how you judge, the Lord will judge you. The Lord is fair. You understand? People think life is not fair all the time. That's somebody who doesn't understand this place. That's somebody who's void of understanding. Read on.
Verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time.
You understand? What you got to do is, man, you got to stay down till you come up. The Lord gonna see you and your works and your labor, and when you're ready is when it's gonna come down. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Y'all don't want to be put in a position and then lose it. You know what I mean? Like, imagine I asked you to run a race in shoes that's too big. How you going? You're gonna be clumsy. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure them shoes fit you so you can run the race properly. You ain't want a coat put on you, a cover put on you, and you swimming in it. You want something that fits just right. Read on.
Verse 7. Casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you.
You understand? What you got to realize, man, is that these brothers care for you. Listen, if I didn't love you, I'd never check you. You understand? If you ever been corrected by me, it's because I love and value every single one of you. Because you know what happens when I give up on somebody? I say nothing. I just watch. All right, brother. Good to see you. Take care. Because you know what's going to happen to him? He going to make that mistake again and again and again. And he just going to be delivered on to Satan one day. That's what's going to happen. If you're a brother who can't take a check-in, I'm not even going to waste my time. You understand? You're resisting wisdom. You don't want my instruction. You understand? You're going to hate me for the love that I'm trying to show you. So you know what? I'm going to reserve my love for somebody who cares and appreciates it. I'm gonna pour everything that I have into the cup of a brother who can't get enough. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, listen, I got brothers who call me up. Cap, what about that? I stay on the phone with them for 2 hours till they get it. You understand? Because they wore out the doorsteps. Y'all got to be apt to teach. You got to be capable. You got to be willing and able to share, because freely ye receive, freely ye give. And that's another thing, man. What y'all got to realize too in here. Okay. It don't say that, you know what I'm saying? Like the saints shall just receive the kingdom. It says the saints shall take the kingdom. It says the Lord is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. That woman who had the issue that grabbed the hem of Yahushua garment. You know, if she don't reach out, she don't get healed. Christ is out there doing the work, but she had there's something that y'all got to do, something Yahushua got to do. I'm here, but what good is it if I'm here if you're not taking notes? Oh, you got a notebook today? Hey man, y'all actually listening. This is a goddamn miracle. Now, like the fact that I come in here and you got a notebook, this is on the wall. I want to be here every Monday. I want to be here every Monday, and I want to bring the best goddamn class that I could bring because I want to pour into y'all cup because y'all receiving it. Y'all cup don't have holes in it. You understand? It's y'all are showing me something of quality and of substance. Y'all are showing me that y'all are capable men. You're showing me that this place matters and means something to you. That's honorable, man. Like Barakatha Yahweh Yahushua, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's so important inside here. You know what I'm saying? Like, next time I see you, I hope I see a notebook. I want to see a notebook. I want to see a Bible dictionary, pens, highlighters. You know what I'm saying? All that. And I'm gonna tell y'all something else too. Get rid of these goddamn phones and get a physical Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like you use that on your own time in class. Like y'all see me. How am I reading these scriptures? Let's get a Bible. You know what else we should do too? Let's in time, whether we go to the thrift shop, whether we go somewhere, let's get like some extra Bibles so that just in case when somebody's new who comes to class, we could be like, hey, get one from the shelf. You know what I'm saying? So that this way, you know what I'm saying? We need that culture in here. You know what I mean? Because y'all gotta remember, right? Like, okay, y'all might not realize this, but we are the top biblical scholars on earth. You understand? Like. Even though the platform itself was a shit show, when Captain Zaryak and myself was on Matun's channel, you know those are two of the biggest Christian apologists on earth. Did y'all see how ridiculous they sounded and looked? That's because that's the Lord. It's got nothing to do with me or him. But when you study, when you follow these protocols, you'll be able to go up against who the world perceives as the top scholars in the world and find out who actually stands on the truth or not. Like you got to realize, like, remember the way you look at a career like being a doctor, right? That's a skilled profession. The way you look at being an electrician, that's a skilled profession. That's how you got to look at here. Like when you're a trooper, you're nigh onto what the scriptures call the sons of the prophets. You're not a prophet just yet. Like when it says the son of, it's a tradition and culture making you of or related to something. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all are the helpers of the prophets. Just like if you were on a construction site and you were a helper or an apprentice, your first day on the job, you know what you do? You sweep, you clean. You might be a golfer. You run and get the material. You come back, and before you know it, this is a coupling. This is this size. This is that size. This is conduit. And you start learning what all the materials are. Just like right now, this is a menorah. You understand? This is kosher wine. This is olive oil. You start learning the tools of the trade. And then as time goes on, you start to hone in and master your craft and your profession. Just like at camp, y'all going to read so much, be flipping through these scriptures. Eventually, you're going to be able to navigate the Bible. You know what I'm saying? You're going to go to camp, and then you know what the first thing you're going to do when you pass your officer's test is? You're going to teach test scriptures. You're going to teach the milk. And then before you know it, it builds. It's one brick at a time. You can't, the building don't just go up. The foundation got to be laid. And if you got a weak foundation, what happens to the building? It's going to collapse. So you got to make sure that you got a strong foundation at the root. And you learn these skills and you learn this trade. And what you got to realize is, okay, y'all are like, I need y'all to look at yourselves each as an individual for a moment as an individual. Each one of you is like a company. In your company, what you do is you keep adding until one day they give your company an evaluation. And you know, you want your company to have an evaluation so that one day you could sell it for $500 million, $1 billion. What you guys want is this work that you do. Every time you put work in, it's like buying stock in a company. You're putting stock in yourself until one day you're of such value that you want to be acquired. You want to look at the Lord like he like you know, if you were a billionaire, right? Like, or a millionaire trying to get to a billionaire, you know what you do? You go and you look for companies that work and you buy that company, and then you collect off the profit of that. You get what I'm saying? Well, the Lord is like a CEO that's a billionaire who's looking at each and every one of you and the stock inside your company. I want this company. This is valuable. This is valuable. So every time you're in here putting your brick in, every camp you show up to, every precept you learn, your stock's going up. You understand? Your value's going up. Every tool you learn on the job, everything you can do, you know what you can do when you go to the next company? Ask for more money. Because if you don't know anything, or if all you can do is change light bulbs, how are you going to be a master electrician? You understand? How are you going to negotiate inside that room? You can't. So I'm saying all that. You got to look at this as a profession. You got to look at this as a career. And the higher up you go, the more value you have. You understand, the greater that all of this is going to be. And here's why it's even greater, because none of this is for us. You understand? Like all of this is literally building the kingdom of heaven. Because Christ said the kingdom of heaven is where?
Within us.
It's within you. It's not something, you understand, that's just going to come out of nowhere. It's not something, once again, the saints shall take the kingdom. So I said all that to say this. If y'all want to know something, ask. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to give you an example. I tell this story every now and then, right? So we had a lecture, right? It was at the National Black Theater before it closed down in Harlem. And a battle took place in like a questionnaire form. Sinetta and Polite were there. They were in the front seat. They were asking Captain Isupk some questions at the end of the lecture when he opened it up for Q&A. In the back of the building, you know what I'm saying, was some Israelites from another group, right? Sinetta asked a divisive question. That divisive question was like a moment where Capt could have stepped on, you understand, the Israelites from another school in the backdrop, right? Capt didn't, though. Instead, he showed them brotherhood and he stepped on Sinetta and Polite. Now, I didn't understand that, because back then I wasn't like a Gerber or like a Swiss Army knife. You know, I was just a hammer. There's only two things you could do with a hammer. You could just knock a nail in the wall or pull one out. That's it. You know what I mean? So I asked the question. I said, Cap, I said, that was the perfect moment, you know what I'm saying, to crush those Israelites. Why didn't you step on them? And that brother gave me a great piece of wisdom. He said, because the current enemy I was battling, his agenda was to get me to step on them. That's when my camp speaking isn't mine anymore. They just hijacked my speaking. Now, what would have been better for fishing those brothers in? Stepping on them or showing them brotherhood? You understand? Showing them the brotherhood. And then at the same time, you still defeat the enemy that's in front of you. Because guess what? Those brothers in the back came because they were allies. They weren't against us in that moment. So why should we be against them? Now, if I didn't ask that question, I never would have learned that gem. I never would have understood. You understand? Like, what you got to realize, even inside the scripture, like there's this moment, right, where Paul's battling the scribes and the Pharisees, right? And in the middle of the battle, while they're all against him, you know what he says? He says, brothers, I too am a Pharisee, studied at the foot of Gamaliel, student of the law. You know what happened in the crowd? They stopped battling him and started battling each other. You got to be able to have that tact. You got to understand, like, the number one thing in battling is understand your enemy's agenda. Because if you don't understand your enemy's agenda, you lose in the battle. You can never let your enemy take over your speaking. You can never fall into their agenda. You got to be on the Lord's agenda the entire time. But in order to do that, you got to ask your questions. That's why, like, when I come in here, I'm like, y'all got questions? You're telling me you're not studying. Telling me you know the whole Bible. Because if you don't got questions, are you waiting for me to feed you? I mean, you're not hungry enough on your own. Y'all just. The saints shall take the kingdom. The kingdom ain't going to be given. So take that shit. Own it, because the kingdom of heaven is within you. It's within each and every one of us. You understand? Oh, now you want to ask a question?
I was waiting for
Okay, I'm messing with you.
So like it, sir. My question is in the book of Ecclesiastes,
Mhm.
chapter 7, verse 1.
Good.
It's actually to verse 5, but I just wanted a breakdown. So like, let me pull it up real quick. Salakia.
Ecclesiastes what?
Salakia. Ecclesiastes 7, verse 1.
Mhm.
A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth.
Okay.
Salakia, I had a question on this. Could this be used as a cut to birthdays?
Yeah, you could definitely use it as a cut for birthdays. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because y'all ain't. But at the same time, they're fools, man. Because here's another thing, right? You know what else blacks and Latinos do? Y'all ever have a relative die, and then every year on the day of their death, the family sets a plate and leaves an extra plate for them?
Come on, concert.
Yeah, I know family that does that too. Because if we ain't gonna worship ourselves, we gonna worship the dead. You know what I'm saying? When the dead know nothing. Like the point of this is two things, right? Here's number one. Do you have your hand up? I'm gonna come to you in 1 second. You know what I'm saying? The point of this is number one. One, in this trade that we have, in this career that I was just explaining to you, you know what the greatest form of currency is? Your reputation. Like, your reputation could save your life. Because you could have an amazing reputation for 10 years and make a mistake, but based off your reputation, they'll have mercy on you. You understand? Not to say that you won't get a judgment. You understand? But guess what? You have an amazing reputation. You know what happens when people make a crazy allegation about you? The lie dies. You know why the lie dies? I know this brother for 15 years. He's never shown me one sign or characteristic like that. You bet you got some evidence? Your reputation can safeguard your life. Here's the other part. Day of one's death is better than the day of one's birth, because when we're born inside here, you know what happens? We're being judged for every move that we make. You understand? Like, what you got to realize, so we just recently lost our brother Karab. And General Muhammad said, "See you in the sky." You know why he said that? That brother's sealed. You know, every single one of us is in dangerous waters right now, because you could still fall out the truth. You could still make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Every day that you're here, you understand, you have to continue that fight. You die in the truth, brother. You made it. You're sealed. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to worry about rent and bills and child support and this and that and temptations of the world. Your worries is over. But you know what I'm saying? How many of y'all got kids? You know what I'm saying? You mean to tell me that since the day of your child's birth, you ain't worried about them every day of your entire life? You mean to tell me you don't think about them every single day? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Because they exist and you understand the dangers of this world. When somebody's gone, they ain't got to worry about the dangers of this world. That's the point of this scripture. So if you're gonna use it to cut a birthday, just make sure they're not gonna use it to worship the dead. Cool.
So that kind of was my question, because I know somebody that's gonna do like some sort of celebration for the death of their daughter. So that would be unlawful, correct?
So when you say celebration, it's like an anniversary,
Yes.
or like, so meaning they died like over a year ago, and yeah, you got to let that go.
Just let it go.
Yeah, they got to let that
They
go.
gotta let that
You know
go.
what I'm saying? Because you got to remember that the dead live again. For all you know, she's going to come back in a generation. For all you know, she's going to come back, and you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you know why Abraham was so willing to sacrifice Isaac?
Because he knew he was going to get him back.
He knew he could receive him again. He knew he already received that child from the grave. You know what I'm saying? So as a result, you know what I'm saying? He's like, the Lord could bring him back. So when we do that, it's like we don't have the understanding. You know what I'm saying? So no, we shouldn't have anniversaries like that for the dead. And we serve the God of the living. Everything in Christianity is of the death. That's why their symbol's a cross. You know what I'm saying? That they all wear on their neck to symbolize Christ's death. When Christ died so we can live. We don't serve. You got a question, young man?
God had to sacrifice himself so we can live another day.
Exactly. You understand? So the Most High sacrificed his son so we could live another day. Christ isn't God, but you understand? But he sacrificed his son for us. You understand? And that gives us life. Everything got to be about life. In Christianity, everything is when you die. Can't wait. We're going to heaven. I'm going to meet the Lord. It's all fatalism. You understand? When Christ's whole reason for sacrificing himself was so that we could continue to live, so we wouldn't have to be put to death. Christians can't wait to die. That's why everything about them is death. Everything in this world, like, and here's what's crazy too. Like, I think I realized this at a Roe versus Wade protest. I noticed that the people who were protesting were either whores or homosexuals. And then it hit me. Both those lifestyles are death. The hoe wants to kill the baby. The homosexual can't have a baby. There's nothing about your lifestyle that equates to life. This is a path to life. Everything that it is that we do is about life and is about living. And it's about how to live and how to govern yourself while you're alive and what's going to prolong your life. That's what all this is about. Questions? Oh, all right. Give me 2 Thessalonians 2:13. Good.
I do have one question. What if somebody decides to take, you know what I mean, to engage in something that's smoking weed, and bringing them to the truth seems like it's almost impossible. Like, I try to tell them to come in here to learn by somebody who knows the Bible or who's greater than you in this word of God. How do you get them to, yeah, I mean, come, like, unlearn the nonsense they have learned so they can see the truth?
I understand. Like this. You can't force a crown on no one's head. Like, Yahushua giving out crowns, rulership. I'm going to force you to rule. Okay, when you're young, let me tell you what I personally believe. I speak as a man, this is my opinion. But what I personally believe is one of the most difficult things to do. is to realize this isn't for everybody. Is to realize the Lord don't want everyone. Is to realize that it's not about our decision who comes in here. Ezekiel prophesied to the wind. When I'm on that street corner, I'm teaching the street pole. You know what I'm saying? My voice is being carried, and the Lord's sheep hear his voice. The greatest thing that you can do for that brother is change your life. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to change your life. You're going to look healthy. Everybody's going to be messed up. Every time he sees you, you're going to be looking like hell is not touching you. And eventually he's going to catch so much hell that this world has to break him. And then to look at you and be like, brother, what are you into? You know what I'm saying? Because the greatest thing you can do is not what you tell him. It's what you show him. You understand? And it's by you actually changing, because you're so new to this. He don't even know if this is a phase for you. You're so new to this. You might, especially if this is your second or third religion. Nah, he'll put that down like he did with Islam, like he did with Buddhism, like he did with this church. You know what I'm saying? The greatest thing you can do is be consistent in here so that he can realize, no, there's something more to this because he held on to this. That's what you can do, because the words ain't gonna matter. You ain't even got enough sinew on him to even battle his demon. You know what I mean? It's damn near like when the disciples were trying to cast out that demon and they were like, why can't we? And Christ was like, yo, get your weight up. You need to put more work in. There's certain demons you don't outrank yet. You got rank in the spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? And there's a demon that'll laugh at you. You know what I'm saying? And there's a demon that'll obey you. I've seen it at camp. I've seen it several times. I've seen a demon walk past. You understand? And I said, Capt Chaataza was like, you stop. And he stopped. Look this way. He stopped and looked. Asked him a question. He answered him honestly. And then he was like, all right, go ahead. And then he left. He had command over that spirit. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing to get command over that spirit? Better yet, do you have command over your own spirit? If not, you know what you got to do? Keep showing up. Just like going to the gym. You got to keep going to the gym. You got to keep lifting more weight. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your weight up. And then in time, maybe your words will reach him. Or maybe your actions will. You know what I'm saying? But the greatest thing you can do is to not be a hypocrite right now. You understand? All right. Any other questions? Nope. Second Thessalonians 2:13.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 13. But we are bound to give thanks always to God for you, brethren, beloved of the Lord, because God hath from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification of the Spirit and belief of the truth.
And brother, that's thank God that y'all put these signs up, that y'all brought that notebook in, that y'all are learning discipline, man. You know what I'm saying? Because what you got to realize is every brother that comes inside here is a gem. You know what I mean? Just like, you know, every gem before it's sold in the store got to be cut. The impurities got to get chipped off of it. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. You know, when you mine gold, you got to put that thing in the furnace to burn out all the impurities. But what you got to realize is y'all are the Lord's gems. Y'all are the Lord's treasure. Every brother that comes in here and puts on that all black and follows this tutelage, you know what I'm saying? Washes them windows, carries that camp equipment, stands outside the camp before they're invited in. Everybody did it. Everybody pays their dues. You know what I'm saying? But what you got to realize, man, is like, you know what I'm saying? We give thanks to the Lord for these brothers, for this brotherhood. You know what I mean? Like that's the most important thing. That's why, like, fake Israelites, all they know is weaponizing the truth. All they care about is, I cut you. Where's the brotherhood at? That's why they all break apart. That's why they all start different groups. Go here, go there. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't realize it's each other that matters. Most people don't want the truth. They want the knowledge. They want they want the flex of knowing something. They don't want the sacrifice. They don't want the pain. They don't want the checkings. They don't want the counsel. They don't want the work. They don't want to bear each other's burden. That's what it comes down to. When y'all are in here, that's where all those impurities get burned off you. You understand? That's where you change. You become the new man. That's when you become that proper representation. And that's where you work to become able and wise and known. But just understand, you will be tried and tested. You know what I mean? And what y'all got to realize, man, is here's another thing too, right? When something happens to me and I know it's Satan, I go do work. Because like when something happens and I know it's Satan, it's like picture somebody stalls off on you and then you don't swing back. Like imagine something happens to you and then you don't make it to class when you had to get to class that day. You just let Satan win. Making it to class would have been a counterpunch. You didn't fight back. So it's like I remember one day, you know what I'm saying? I got let go from this job. I said, Satan, you're a bastard. You know what I did? I called Captain Isupk that day and I said, who's teaching class? Can I teach class? He said, call the brother, see if you could teach class. And I went and taught a class. I didn't go home and cry and what am I going to do and all that. And guess what? I had a slavery that paid me $9 more an hour. And within a week. Yo, seek you the kingdom of heaven first, and all shall be added on to you. Fight back. Go put studs on a garment. Go study. You know what I'm saying? If you got your officer's test, go copy that thing over. You know what I'm saying? If you're a trooper, go to class and read. You know what I mean? Like find work to do, because otherwise you're letting Satan swing on you without swinging back. You goddamn pinata. You're a punching bag. Me, I'm not a punching bag. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to swing back. You better swing back. Unless you just want your ass whooped. I don't know about y'all. That's you know what I mean? Not gonna be me. And it shouldn't be none of y'all. Go to Ephesians 4:22.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 22. That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is
put off the former conversation of the old man. Like them old things and all that. You can't glory in who you used to be. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at who you used to be as a shame. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta look at it as a reminder of where you never want to go back to. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you can't keep who you once were. It's like driving around with a dead body in your trunk. Eventually you're gonna get pulled over. You know what I'm saying? And then you through. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let that thing go. You gotta be who you are now. Like when it said, if thine eye offends you, pluck it out. What you was it talking about? No. But next time, raise your hand. Okay.
the new you.
It's talking about the new you. It's talking about the priest and prophet you. It's talking about not offending who the Lord wants you to be. And anything that's trying to turn you back, get rid of it. Read on.
Which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust.
Good.
Verse 23, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
Man, that's what we all got to be. We all got to be renewed in the spirit of our mind. We have to have a new thought process. That's why when you hear we're a cult or y'all brainwashed, yeah, your brain got washed because you were dirty. You need to be renewed inside your mind because of all the stains of the world that was on it and the thinking of. Read on.
Verse 24, and that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness.
That's who you got to be, man. You like stop doing you. Doing you is what I'm doing me. Doing you is what got you in trouble. You understand? It's time to do what the Lord called you to be. Right. You get your name yet? What's up? Say it again.
Kamas.
Kamas. What does that mean?
Wise hunter.
Wise hunter. Congratulations, too. Clap it up. I didn't even know that. Kamas. Kamas. Well, whoever the hell you were before, I don't remember, but I will remember Kamas. Wise hunter. You understand? Well, that's what the hell you got to be now. That's what you got to step into. That's what you got to become. That's what you got to own, because that's who the Lord is calling you to be. You understand? You gonna say something? No, you're just chilling. I like that shirt too, by the way. That's a good one. I don't know if y'all know he came up with the name Lost Tribes. Yeah, he did. He hates when I big him up. I don't know, like he want to act all modest, like get out of here, man. Yeah, I mean, we were in the slums of Shaolin. You know what I'm saying? In a basement in the hood, and we were trying to come up with like what the music group name was gonna be, and he was like, we should make it Lost Tribes, and I'm like, what is Z? And then we came up with the idea for the logo. What's his name, man? Gadite brother in Carolina, Gabar. You know what I'm saying? Made that. And yo, matter of fact, here's something else too. You know what that's copyrighted? The name is Chaataza, which is basically Dawada and Chaataza combined. Listen, I could pull out the document. It's literally inside like Congress's records, Chaataza. What's that, Christ? Oh man. Where we at? We finished 24. All right, drop that and then give me Acts 4 and 31.
This is Book of Acts, chapter 4, verse 31. And when they prayed, the place was shaken where they were assembled together, and they were all filled with the Holy Spirit, and they spake the word of God with boldness.
Man, that's one thing you got to realize, man. We gotta all come together. We speak the word of God with boldness. Go ahead.
Verse 32. And the multitude of them that believed were of one heart.
Were of what?
One heart.
Go ahead.
And of one soul.
Good.
Neither said any of them that aught of the things which he possessed was his own, but they had all things common.
You understand? Listen, and that's how we got to live. You got to realize we got all things in common. You know what I mean? You guys can't think about me. You got to think about we. You know what I mean? That's why me and Dawada, my car go down, brother, help me. His truck go down, I help him. It's not like it's my car or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got brothers out here, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you need a garment, you hook them up with a garment, vice versa. Like we all collectively, our economy is brotherhood. Got a question? That's what your heart is. Your heart is your mind. You know what I'm saying? So they were of one mind and of one spirit. You understand? It said all the things that they had of common. There's gonna come a time, man, where all this food, everything that we storing up, it's not gonna be my food. It's gonna be our food. You know what I mean? Is gonna come a time like what you gonna realize is like, you know, when we put this together, one person brought that couch in, another brother brought a bookshelf in, another brother brought a refrigerator in. We bring all of our resources together. Our economy is brotherhood. What we have is in common. You understand? Like you can't just be turning around and just thinking this is mine or this is for me. This is for all of us. We're one body, many members. You know what I'm saying? And we got to all be on that one accord with each other. We got to all be able to look out for each other. We got to all bear each other's burdens. You know what I'm saying? And that don't happen when you just worried about yourself. And you'll never be able to achieve any rank inside here if you're just only thinking about you and you alone. And that's why I be telling y'all, especially like when y'all Dakamas, when Dakamas and Kowal, when y'all become officers and not troopers, brother, you know what I'm saying? Your life is really over. It's just the beginning of it, though. And with that, pass the class over to Priest and Officer Dawada.
All right, this is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, and Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Ma'ashara means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming Holy Convocation is the Passover. It's the 14th day of the first month. This year is going to be Saturday, April 4th, 2026. That's going to be found in the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 1 through 51. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 4 through 5. 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7 through 8. And 2 Chronicles chapter 30, verse 17. Remind Aki and Akwatian to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school to start wearing all black, that's boots, shirt, pants, and headband or a scarf. With that, Minavijra Amajim, I'm going to do a courtesy salute for the brothers. Minavijra Amajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahal Ba Shimyaw Shabrakathum, Yad Yamata, which means hands down, Sar, which means turn, face our sisters Imajim, which means to stand. We're going to do a courtesy salute for the sisters. Minavijra Amajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alatha Ba Shimyaw Shah, Yad Yamata, class dismissed. Excellent.